In color theory, the selection of colors used in a design is called a color scheme. Analogous color schemes use the main color plus one or more adjacent colors, while complementary schemes use any two colors directly opposite on the color wheel. Hey girls, I'm Trissy Mounts, geoist host of ContraPoints, the internet show where we talk about sadness, fascism, sexual deviation, cults. This week, we'll be talking about colors. Colors, what the fuck are they? In one beaker I have white, in the other brown. Pour them together, and wall, I don't know what the kids are calling it. It's delicious. Now, according to some so-called experts, color is really different wavelengths of electromagnetic radiation. But what about the shadow illusion? Same wavelengths, different colors. Some people say I'm a man dressed as a lady, but I'm actually a lady who used to be a man dressed as a man dressed as a lady. Explain that, Professor Butler. Illusion. What matters more? The way things are or the way things look? Let's watch an instructional video to learn more. Hi, I'm Jackie Jackson, host of the Freedom Report. Host of the Freedom. It's too early for this. Today my guests are, well, who are you people? I'm Dr. Abigail Cockbain, Associate Professor of Women's Studies and author of many, many books. Most recently, my doctoral thesis, Sacred Passage, The Divine Feminine in Flux and Flow. Oh yes, and oh, well, you look familiar. Who are you? Okay, well, today my guests will be debating the topic. Well, here's a good one. Should it be illegal to use the wrong pronouns for a transgender? What do you think, Annabelle? Well, Jackie, liberation from the oppressive institution of gender begins with freedom of speech. For instance, this cat person over here is clearly a biological male in some sort of costume wig. Now, I of course support his right to dress however he wishes, but the fact remains that pronouns refer, as they always have referred, to chromosomal sex. But perhaps you disagree, sir. That's a human rights violation. I'll smash your fucking face. And here we have a clear illustration of the way that transgender ideology is merely a smokescreen for male violence against women. And mind you, this is being taught in our schools. It's being forced on our children. It's becoming mandatory. This is being taught, becoming our security. Have this cat removed. The centers are being silenced, and something must be done about the encroaching trans agenda, taking away women's rights, invading women's spaces, depriving us of what feminism has worked so hard to. Some signs say I love a kitty queen, but Abigail clocks a cat. Genders just like color. Some people see yellow, some people see blue. It's all a matter of opinion. Or is it? It's not. Let's hear the real tea. Tabby tabby. Sweetie baby. Princess. I feel ridiculous in this dress. Well, you look ridiculous. 'Cause you wouldn't take the goddamn cat ears off. I think I'm gonna take the dress off. Well, don't do that. I'm trying to help you out, girl. If you don't want to get misgendered, it helps to fem it up a little. I'm gonna take it off. Well, don't leave. You can change in front of me, I'm not a prude. I'm gonna go behind the curtain. I like looking at naked people. Why do you always hit on them? I thought you were into men. Well, I swing both ways. I like boy dick and girl dick. That's not how that works. I hate that. The heart wants what it wants. Why did you invite me over here anyway? I saw what happened to you on the Freedom Report, and girl, you cannot be a trans woman on threatening people with a bat. You think it's morally wrong to stand up to your oppressors. No, morally wrong. What does that even mean? It was much worse than morally wrong. It was aesthetically wrong. It was unfeminine. This is all you ever say to him. It's bad optics. It's bad aesthetics. Well, does reality matter at all to you? 'Cause the realities I am a woman, and maybe a bunch of ignorant people don't think I look like one, but the way things look isn't all that matters. Tabby, this is politics. Have you ever had a conversation with the average voter? Reality plays no role in politics. Politics is aesthetics. Politics is aesthetics. That's literally what fascism is. Have you even read Benjamin? Fascism is the introduction of aesthetics into political life. The military parades the pageantry, and communism responds by politicizing art. This is what I can to stand about communists. You want to turn art into propaganda. Well, art is already ideology. Look, instead of ruining art, why don't we fight the pageantry of fascism with pageantry of our own? And you know who's gonna make that happen. Who? Well-funded trans women. Patreon's in the description. You. Stop that. What? I am just trying to monetize a connected engagement community by strategically leveraging me content creator promotional media brand analytics. Is that so wrong? You re so boji. I'm not the one quoting German philosophers from memory. Revolutionary philosophers. Whatever you need to tell yourself. Look, the point I'm trying to make is that the world we live in is not a philosophical world. Think about Instagram. It's all about transforming your life into an enviable spectacle. If you cry yourself to sleep every night, who cares? No one sees that. They only see the show you're re-putting on. Okay, but life is not a show. Politics is a show. Look around you. Tabby. Try to understand what's happening to the world. The President of the United States is a reality star. The 21st century is an aesthetic century. In history, there are ages of reason and there are ages of spectacle, and it's important to know which you're in. Our America, our internet, is not ancient Athens. It's Rome. And your problem is you think you were in the forum when you were really in the circus. I thought you were just criticizing me for being violent. Now you against reason too. I'm not against reason. Reason is a very powerful aesthetic. If you a man. And what if you a woman? Hold on to be a woman. That's not a good idea. Oh, do you remember that debate between Blair White and that YouTuber with the pink wig? What was her name? I don't know. She was relevant back in 2017. Anyway, this was before she transitioned, and in that debate, Blair looked like she had two X chromosomes, and the other one looked like this awkward dude in Anonym with not looking at the camera. I vaguely remember. I think I wrote an angry blog post about it. Well, the pink wig lost that debate so bad, it was embarrassing to watch. Not really. I mean she was right. And her arguments were better. Ahaha. Ah, tabby. Sweetie, honey, angel, darling princess, baby. Arguments don't. Arguments don't. How pretty you are matters. Is this really where you're going with this? Tabby, if you want to be a public figure sooner or later re gonna need to take the trans girl black pill. Oh boy. If you re a trans woman in the public eye, what matters is one thing and one thing only. And it's always been the thing that matters. What? The realness. Verisimilitude. You have to look like a fucking woman. There it is. There it is right. We don't say it in public, but we all know it, and we all feel it. What does it even mean to look like a woman? Hold on to give me that bullshit. I'm trying to have a real conversation here. We all know what it means. I don't know what it means. Women have a lot of different looks. There are bald women, bearded women, muscular women, wide-shouldered women. What is society's opinion about those bald, bearded, wide-shouldered women? Wide-shouldered opinion about what? Is this just about you making me wear the dress again? The dress is the last of me concerns. I mean, where do I even start with this? You re-wearing combat boots. You cannot be wearing combat boots. Why not? A lot of cis women wear them. Cis women. Well, they re-hopeless, aren't they? Fully clockable. So you want me to look like a woman without imitating cis women? Yes. Do not under any circumstances imitate cis women. Do not under warrior. They have no idea what they redoing. Where does your idea of womanhood even come from, then? Das Weiblich, the archetype of the eternal feminine. And where does that come from? Poets. Teenage gay boys on Instagram. The only people with any coherent vision of contemporary womanhood. That's insanity. Is it? Tabby, look at me face. Look at this highlight. Does that look like the product of insanity to you? I mean, yeah, kind of. Love. Who puts on that much makeup to drink tea at home? Good banter. Well done. But trans women have to overdo it. You need to be so good at makeup that every cis woman you know comes to you for advice. You need to toss your hair and cross your legs. You need to smile, even at people who hate you. Eliminate every aggressive impulse. You must be a blossom floating along the surface of a stream. Your hands are not tools. They re-ornaments at the ends of your arms. So you literally are what turfs think trans women are. Literally a man's idea of a woman. Well, men have the power, men make the rules, and it's ultimately men who are the judges of womanhood, so you can't really blame me for having to deal with that situation. I can blame you for dealing with it by demanding we all conform to a bunch of ridiculous stereotypes. Not stereotypes. Performances. You like philosophy so much, haven't you read Judith Butler? Gender is performance. We all born naked, and the rest is literally drag. Womanhood is not what you are, it's what you do. And trans women have to be virtuosas of womaning. So according to you, there's no difference between a trans woman and a drag queen. Now, you misinterpreting what I am saying. I don't mean performance in the sense of pretending to be something you not. I mean performance in the sense of everything you do. The way you style yourself, your posture, the way you speak. An authentic performance is just a habitual performance, and nothing more than that. So trans women just starting their transition era pretending to be women. I mean, isn't that kind of what it felt like? You transition the same way you get anywhere in life. You fake it till you make it. So according to you, a trans woman is just a full-time drag queen. That's what any woman is. What about gender non-conforming cis women? They not doing womanhood in that way. Well, yeah, that's why those women are marginalized. They going off the grid of what society recognizes as womanhood. You don't want to end up like that, do you? And hold on, are you saying that if a cis man dresses like a woman, talks like a woman, takes female hormones, is gendered female by other people, and spends his whole life pretending to be a trans woman, that he's literally as much of a woman as we are? Yep, that's absurd. But it's absurd because the example is absurd. No cis man would do that. It's like asking, is a straight man gay if he only sleeps with men? Is a straight like, yeah, pretty much. See, this is a philosophy at its worst. Pointless speculative fiction. And it's a distraction from what we really talking about, which is you getting rid of those combat boots. I thought we were talking about philosophy. No, we talking about shoes. Why do I always have to justify what we wear to you? You apparently find wearing designer dresses around your communist friends. The left will abide a regal queer. Look, your performance theory does explain why trans people exist in the first place. If gender is just a bunch of learned behaviors, then why did we reject our male upbringing and decide to live as women? What matters is that we identify as women. We can express that identity in different ways, but it's the identity, not the performance, that makes us women. But you can't be a woman without performing womanhood, without action, and without social recognition. The identity is meaningless. If womanhood is nothing to you but a private daydream, then you may as well do what those assholes say and identify as a helicopter. Because unless you reliving womanhood, the identity is literally that meaningless. That's a very unfair to pre-transition trans people. Well, this isn't a tumble cuddle party, girl. I'm trying to talk about what's really true. I didn't say it was insensitive. I said it was unfair. Identifying as a woman before you transition is a psychological reality that implies a potential to live your inner truth. No one has ever sincerely identified as a helicopter. It's just a troll example. True. But even if they were sincere, there would still be no reality to it because helicopter is not an actual social role. Whereas you can become a teacher, a doctor, or a woman, but you have to work to get there, and ultimately society has to let you. What do you mean? I can identify as a doctor and go around handing out diagnoses, but if no one recognizes me as a doctor, then I'm not really practicing medicine, am I? But that analogy means that our womanhood can be revoked at any moment. All it takes is being misgendered. It's scary, but isn't that the situation we're in? Why did you get so angry when that turf called you sir? Isn't it because, in that situation, she robbed you of your womanhood? That's ridiculous. I am a woman. That's my reality. It does depend on other people's opinions. I know you're a woman. I am just saying that in that one moment, you effectively had your gender cancelled. Another way of looking at it is gender is aesthetic, not rational. Either you perceived as a woman or you aren't. There's no reasoning your way into it. But don't worry about that. I don't argue with a woman. I smash. I smash. I know you do. And it's a bad look. Is this about the shoes again? Here, put these on. Absolutely not. I'm not wearing those. Yes, you are, bitch. Bis. You what? Nope. If you put these on, I'll scratch you behind the ears later. Okay, fine. Now walk. Oh, that was the worst thing I've ever seen. Well, you were the one who made me do it. Look, don't stomp around like that. Keep your shoulders back and steady. All the movement comes from your hips. And you want to put the weight on the balls of your feet. Here, I'll show you. Your turn. Do it right. The category is cat girls. Yes, bitch. That was flawless. It was iconic. I'm living for this. I'm loving this for you. You redoing so good for yourself. Oh, I'm never doing that again. Why not? Because it's not who I am. All your advice is just trying to turn me into you. Well, that's not what aesthetics is. Aesthetics is the expression of an inner truth. And I'll only ever be a second-rate Justin, but I can be a first-rate Tabby. Well, kids, this week we learned a valuable lesson about the importance of being yourself. Shut up. Look, I know a cool, okay. I know a not pretty. And I know you think you read too good for me because you mostly pass. And I know you and your friends laugh at me behind my back. People stare at me because I'm a transgender furry, and that's weird. But I'm a fucking queericon because I'm not like you. Because I'm not like anyone but myself. And because I'm willing to stand up to the people who oppress us. And I'm willing to stand up for the girls with beard shadow and deep voices that girls, even other trans women, make fun of. And when in the history of the world has anyone but me ever stood up for them? That's why everyone knows who Tabby is. When was the last time anyone talked about Justin? Whoa, Tabby, I didn't know you had that in you. But so what? So mail to Anam Twitter stains you, big deal. You re-mad, aren't you? I'll get over it in a few weeks. Look, you rewrite. You have to be yourself. Trying to be someone else is always a bad look. So aguous if combat boots air your aesthetic, then wear them well and make it work. But sometimes being yourself is not enough. Sometimes you have to become yourself. And for you, I think that means that the smashing has got to stop. I mean with the nazis its own thing. But you cannot be menacing radical feminists with a bat. I wouldn't have to smash if literally anyone else were willing to stick up for us. Your delicate notion of femininity is a product of the privilege you share with a lot of thin, white, cis feminists. Whoa, it must be so hard for you out on the streets as a fat woman of color. Shut up. I am just saying, don't claim a struggle that isn't yours, girl. You could have what I have. You just have to work for it instead of playing this part of the tragic victim. You just have to work for the play by why you or how do I will you call this You were raised a white boy. You got to go to college and learn all that philosophy. And yeah, it's hard being a trans woman of any background, but you still stand on a lot of privilege. I look at all the photos of trans women who are murdered in this country and they don't look like you or me. Why don't you use your privilege and use your education to actually do some good in the world instead of this elective revolutionary LARPing? You make me sound like the self-indulgent one. I am sorry I'm not hardworking enough to go to brunch dates and cocktail parties with transphobes. I've seen minds change and hearts soften before my eyes. You don't win friends and ollies with a bat. They re-just using you. Well, who do you think benefits and who do you think gets hurt when you go out into the world and represent trans women as masculine and violent? Who do you think benefits when they trot you out to be feminine and meek and acquiescent? I guess we can't win, can we? You want to just chill out and watch YouTube videos. Yeah, okay. Forget about the disrespect. Facts don't care about your feelings. It turns out that every chromosome, every cell in Caitlyn Jenner's body is male with the exception of some of his sperm cells. You don't know what you talking about. You not educated on genetics. Were you supposed to discuss the genetics or not? What are your genetics? You cut that out now or you will go home in an ambulance. Yeah, that seems mildly inappropriate for a political discussion. You cut that out now or you will go home in an ambulance. So I look at that, and I feel like on me end it's like a always. I feel like I'm always damage controlling for the trans community, which is so frustrating. You will go home in an ambulance. Damage controlling. So frustrating. You will all go home in an ambulance. Facts don't care about your feelings. So frustrating. You all go home in an ambulance. It's imperative that we actually use terms that refer to something. If you want to talk about gender as distinct from sex and then talk about ovary feminine, biological man and UV head surgeries to prove it, then I think that we can talk about what is the appropriate pronoun to use. My problem is the Tabby, I don't want to fight with you. We re-surviving in this shit world together and you'll always be me sister. Well, I'm glad. I love you. What? Love. I was in love once. I was in a smoky roadhouse outside Cincinnati, bent over a pool table. The year was 1985. 1980, the year we fight tighter. Ding, 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 And to this day, when the perfume of cheap whiskey hits my nostrils at just the right moment, I can almost feel the beer-stained billiard cloth against me cheek. Let's watch it all on Ves cassette to learn more. Now I'm here with me friends like it was on me plan if tonight ain't the end, then I'm going to dance while the lasers air high and ambitions air low as we reach for the sky. This is all that we know. Thanks for watching.